Good morning, everyone. Today we have on board with us is Mr. Errol Francke. He holds a doctoral degree with a focus on disruptive innovation and its impact on small businesses. Received the Nelson Mandela Scholarship for Masters in Information Management and System from the Monash University, Australia. Currently part of the Department of the IT in the Faculty of Informatics and Designs. Actively involved in international collaboration, establishing partnerships with researchers from diverse backgrounds and disciplines worldwide. We welcome you to Vivekananda Business School, sir.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
So we would like to ask you some questions.
Yep.
First would be, given a diverse educational background in education, business administration and human resource management, how you see AI shaping the education and the future technologies and the trainings as well?
Yeah. Yes, certainly. I think my diverse educational background stands me in good stead to look at AI from perhaps a different perspective that many would have. For instance, if I had only studied IT, I might have only looked at it from the IT aspect. But I certainly believe that AI will certainly have a huge impact on all the sectors that I've studied and beyond that. You know, I didn't study manufacturing or engineering, but I would venture to say that it's not only going to stop in my sectors, it will certainly impact engineers, for instance, accountants, for instance. So my advice to anybody entering those fields is to equip themselves with the understanding of the application of AI. I wouldn't expect a human resource management student to understand the technicalities of machine learning and neural networks and all of those, but I certainly would expect them to understand what potential AI brings, so that they wouldn't have to then go through what I call the antiquated procedures and methodologies, old-fashioned for want of a better word, where they could then use, you know, the speed, the efficiency and the increasingly accurate return that we get from platforms such as ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever the case might be. But also at the same time, to understand that AI has its limitations, and we cannot just treat it as what is referred to as the gospel.
Yes.
You know, we have to unpack and see what AI gives us when we ask ChatGPT things. For instance, there's this concept of hallucination that I kept referring to in my talk earlier today, that we need to understand that at times ChatGPT fabricates stuff. So it's still incumbent on HR managers or marketing managers to look at what AI gives back. That would be my message to anybody entering those fields.
That's basically on every field, a person should know the basics of AI and how to incorporate it, even
Indeed.
it has limitations.
Indeed, yes. Indeed.
I'd like to go with the second question, sir.
Yes.
In your opinion, what are the key challenges that the small businesses may face in adopting the AI technologies, and how can these challenges be addressed?
Yes. I think AI is not going to be that expensive to acquire, because as we know, many of these platforms are free. Although I've now noticed, for instance, OpenAI charging for versions of ChatGPT and the likes. But generally speaking, I think the access to the solutions is going to be relatively cheap, and it's accessible on mobile phones, and I mean there are billions of people with mobile phones. So to gain access to the technology would not be a constraint, in my opinion. What I think the challenge would be for small business is not understanding what the real business problem is. There's a good saying in AI that the quality of the answer that you get from ChatGPT depends on the quality of the prompt that we put in. So this notion, in our industry, we speak of prompt engineering, for instance. So be specific what one wants from ChatGPT. So if I'm a small business owner and I'm in the field of manufacturing candles, and I'm in India and I want to export candles to the rest of the world. So when I engage ChatGPT or Gemini or any of the other solutions, I would start by saying, act as a candle entrepreneur and advise me on a suitable marketing strategy for candles. You know, that type of thing. Really specific, setting the tone, and then looking at what the response would be.
Okay.
So in summary, understanding the business problem
Yes.
that the business owner wants to solve, and then really being as specific as possible when engaging. And then thirdly, I would say, interrogating the response
Yes, sir.
in light of what we just spoke about in the first question that you had asked me.
Yes, sir. It means basically that a person needs to understand the business model. If not, we can get the insights from the chat GPT.
Yes.
And the rest we also have other chat AI tools such as Quellbolt for rephrasing and other
Yes,
such, and we can
indeed.
use to enhance the business as well.
Indeed, Grammarly and Polbot and all of those.
Yes,
Yep,
exactly.
correct.
Exactly. Thank you, sir. And I would like to ask you the question, that is, what role does explainability play in the acceptance and adoption of AI solutions in various industries, and how are companies addressing the interpretability challenge?
Yeah, I think it was highlighted by one of the speakers this morning also, in terms of the ethics and the manner in which we receive the information that we get from these, and also when developing these solutions, in terms of understanding exactly, making it quite clear to any of the users what the solutions will use the information for. So I think it's important. It takes us back, all of that takes us back to the ethics.
Yes.
And ethics doesn't only relate to AI, it relates to any technology. Designers of mobile phones, there's ethics around that,
Yes.
in terms of how the phone is used and for what purpose. So I would say that in the same way, in terms of AI, any of the AI solutions, it's around the ethics in terms of how we process the data, how we store the data, and how we interpret the data and for what it's going to be used for is extremely important.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. And sir, I would like you to share the experience of yours today at Vivekananda Business School, and some insights or recommendations or suggestions you would like to give to our future entrepreneurs and managers.
Recommendations, none. Which suggests to me, or to you, I should suggest, that I was highly impressed. From the time that I arrived here in India, my escort, the manner in which I was received, the manner in which I was taken care of, set up at the hotels, transportation arrangements. In arriving here today, I felt like a Bollywood star. I don't know exactly what a Bollywood star would feel like, but I think it's came close to it. So my photo there, just the manner in which the presentations, the marketing materials that were done, the students, the way in which you presented yourselves. I think also the event organizers, in terms of the topics that were, if I were a student, I'm hoping the rest of the students are just soaking up, the topics that were discussed, and perhaps it would take re-watching and listening to the interviews again to understand exactly the little golden nuggets that were shared by the speakers. So compliments to the manner in which the topics that we were asked to present on. I think it helps students tremendously. And then just the catering arrangements, that's always important. A hungry academic is not a happy academic. But other than that, I think superb and well done.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes.
I'm glad you liked everything in VBS
Yes.
Business School. And
Yes.
thank you so much for your precious time, sir. We hope to collaborate with you again in the future.
Indeed.
Thank you
Indeed,
so
sir.
much, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you.